San Andres launches an SOS. 40% of all travelers arrive by Viva Air. Follow along.
You're watching dcbornrob, erasing borders. And now, the news.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. My name is Rob Christian, also known as DC Born Rob, DC Rob, or you can just call me Rob. Again, this story is from El Colombiano. It's entitled San Andres launches an SOS because 40% of the travelers there arrive by Viva Air. So there's people stuck getting and going. So the travel drama continues, unfortunately. It says tourists are stranded at the airport and air connectivity is more scarce and expensive. To this is added that the flow of visitors has fallen 47% compared to 2022. Now they survive on tourism. I've been hearing the same thing about Bogota and Medellin, but this area, San Andres, actually survives on tourism. So they need the money there. So it's an issue. It says lonely streets and stores without a good flow of customers worry people who live from tourism in San Andres. But the sudden suspension of flights operated by Viva Air left the islanders in a more delicate situation since February 27th, since they must attend to the visitors who were stranded at the Gustavo Rojas Pinilla International Airport, and it is expected that the decline in tourism deepens. After suffering Hurricane Iota and the strict quarantine due to the pandemic, the archipelago once again suffers another critical situation, and the governor, Everett Hawkins, made an urgent appeal to the government to help him manage the situation and restore air connectivity to his territory. Viva Air has decided to stop all of its air operations, and that hits us a lot because there's 18 fewer flights for the San Andres archipelago, he said. The matter is worrying because according to Juan Enrique Archibald, Secretary of Tourism of San Andres, of the 1.3 million visitors welcomed last year, 40% came through Viva Air. Okay, it says emergency timeline. So this is their timeline. As of October 2022, Viva had eliminated 14 flights to the insular region of Colombia. In this regards, Hawkins regretted that of the 33 daily frequencies that the island had, today only 14 are active. This is having a very high fiscal impact for the territorial entity, but also for the tourism sector. While the stay of Viva users is exhausted in the hotels, the victims are accumulating in the airport facilities. Wow. I can only imagine what's going on there. In the midst of this emergency caused by Viva, Jorge Castro, a resident of the archipelago, commented to the newspaper that the situation in San Andres is more complicated than in the rest of the country because this is an island. You can only leave by plane. The government explained that more than 300 people, especially from Bogota and Medellin, have been evacuated on humanitarian flights operated by the Air Force of Avianca. Jorge Castro mentioned that according to a local media, those affected by Viva have not stayed more than a day at the air terminal while they wait for a plane to return them to their place of origin. They have been treated by civil authorities with mats and groceries. And it's got to be rough. Of course, the turbulence of Viva does not make the people of San Andres lose sight of the fact that the air connectivity has been presenting problems for some time due to the high cost of air tickets, a factor that is discouraging the arrival of tourists and that the governor also asked for help to solve. According to the Viala meta search engine, which compares the prices of tickets offered by all airlines, the boarding passes to go to San Andres have become more than 100% more expensive compared to the start of the year. Governor Hawkins told El Colombiano that when reviewing the visitors' numbers in January, the authorities found a 23% drop compared to the same month last year, but cut to February 17th, the decrease was already at 47%. That is why the islanders are asking for the government to provide them with support with the gap of that Viva left them in, with tax discounts that alleviate the price of tickets, especially since the region's economy depends 90% on tourism. Wow, 90% on tourism. This is going to be rough. The archipelago has been sending an SOS to the national government for the issue of air connectivity, said the governor, who stressed that a lower flow of tourists translate into less flow of income for the territorial entity and fewer opportunities for formal employment generated by the tourism sector. In that order of ideas, he proposed that the archipelago be excluded from Decree 1073 in 2015 and a discount that charge to air tickets to be approved. We need the government to pay attention to us and to exempt us from paying these taxes as a border department. In your hands is this economic feature of the entire population. A social crisis is looming in San Andres if the requests have been made or not met, the governor exclaimed. In fact, Julio Garcia, a hotelier in the archipelago, commented that hotels are already beginning to cut their staff. So they're having some problems. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I just wanted to make you aware of this. So if you're coming and going between Colombia on the I guess the Colombia proper, and going back and forth between the island, you're going to have some issues. So booking flights, and just like booking flights anywhere, it's a struggle right now. Prices are up. It doesn't matter. Across the board to get to Medellin, it's looking like it's at least $800-900 right now for me from Houston. Now I'm going to DC. I have to run there next week for a few days to be with a friend. But the flights are insane right now. And you would know this if you are flying anywhere right now that you need to book within the next 4 weeks. Prices are nuts. And we're going into spring break, so it's only going to get worse. I hope this all pans out. No telling what's going to happen. But I'll keep an eye on this story and everything else that has to do with travel with Medellin Colombia. Now, keep in mind also, I am starting Patreon in a week. Why did I say that with a Spanish accent? Patreon. But anyway, I'm starting that. So those who want to support. Hopefully at least 10%, because it's hard to even get likes from you guys. I get on average 10% of you that watch the videos hit like. But then some of those same people come back. So I'm asking for likes and I'm asking for the support at Patreon also. So let's see who supports me in a week or so. Because just like in business, if I can't pull a profit, what's the use of doing this? And I'll just hang up my cleats and play a game somewhere else. I'll continue to do videos because I like to create. But if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So, but I would continue to travel. But DC's next up, and then probably Medellin, or I want to go to Mexico and check out what's it called? Oh shoot, what's the I can't think of it now. Anyway, it's a little town near Cabo that I want to check out to see land prices and so on, because to get an apartment like this is like $300 to $400 there, and probably more square footage than I have here in Houston. So big drop in price, and I can work from anywhere, which is good for the time being anyway. So anyway, thanks for the support and for support of the brothers. We need all the prayers for the Stevenson brothers. And again, I'm going to read the FOIA request, or the results of the FOIA request that I sent to the embassy, so you can hear what they say about me behind my back and what they say about people as a whole. And they just cut and paste a lot of this stuff. A lot of it has been redacted, blacked out. Half the page may be blacked out. Okay, so they redacted names who sent stuff, which I don't get why you hide and who sent what to where. But I know what they're commenting now, and I'm going to let you hear that shortly also. So that's coming. Patreon's coming. I need the stories. I've just had somebody reach out to me earlier. Thank you for everybody who reaches out to me with new stories also. So it helps me keep the content going. But if any of you has been robbed, drugged, you need to go to chicacheck.co, and put that information in there. Go get a police report. Even if you think nothing's going to be done, go get a police report. Even if you think nothing is going to be done, go get a police report, upload that information, because you're doing a disservice to people coming behind you if you keep it quiet. I understand you may not want to put this out in public, but if nothing else, hop on here, tell me the story. So at least I can recite the story, put it in writing. I'll read it. Put it in audio. I'll replay the audio. Or come on and don't put your face on, just put your voice on and tell the story, because other guys going down need to know this information. Just like the scammer. I'm going to keep putting his picture out there, because all the new guys who are coming along may not have seen my old videos when we were after this cat. Then he got caught. Now he's back on the street, all up in the camera. Yeah, you can put me on the effing YouTube. Yeah. Just watch out for this cat. He got at least, again, 25, 30 guys that I'm aware of, maybe for a few pennies here and there, but just watch out, because it could be drugs and girls. When you get caught up in that, and again, you mess around with underage people, it's over. Don't call me. Okay, don't call me. I'm here to help. For those who need legitimate help, and by all means, dcbornrob@gmail.com. So when you see it in the comment, I'll always ask a couple questions and tell you to send it to my email, dcbornrob@gmail.com. gmail.com, dcbornrob group at gmail.com. Jump into my private group because there's a couple other things that I want to show and I can't put it right here, but I can put it in our private group. We're probably 800 strong now. And so hopefully we can merge with the Patreon. Hopefully it works out for me. So good vibes to me. We'll see how this all pans out. But again, I want you guys to travel. Don't go to Mexico. Don't go to border towns in Mexico. Anyway, I'm going to cover that shortly also. And Shanquilla, if you haven't heard the story of Shanquilla, that was killed by Dejanay, who went to Mexico. That's a whole nother story. This was last October, November. People went down to Mexico to party in Cabo. One of the girls beat the other girls and killed her. They tried to say it was alcohol poisoning. Now she's back in the state, and the other 5 people are back in the States, and this girl is dead. And now the family is pressing on the gas because something's got to be done about this. How can you just let this go? They have to look out for travelers. You're a traveler. Don't you care? How can you care and don't do anything? How can you care and don't do anything? You have to have a stance. Sometimes you got to take a stance. You got to do something. And for all the comments, or reach out to BLM, or reach out to this, well, have you tried to call this actress, or have you tried to call the Kardashians? How about you? I need people like sometimes, and I do get this, Rob, I just contacted my congressman on behalf of the brothers. Rob, I just contacted their congressman or senator on behalf of the brothers, on behalf of Timothy Reed. I contacted, and a lot of you guys did that in Atlanta, reached out to Warnock's staff. And I don't want to slight Warnock's staff because they did some work, and you'll see that hopefully in the and the same with their other rep. They did some work on behalf of the senator. The senators don't get me started. But we all have to take a stand up, make a phone call, hit like, simple stuff. It don't even cost anything. It's easy to pick up a phone and go, or send an email. They have a form. Your congressmen and your senators have a form. You go to their website and you type in you let them know that you voted, whether you voted for them or not, but you are a voter and this is what you want them to do. Because that was noted in the FOIA request there, that the staff of the senators are getting heat from you guys that reached out. And much thanks for that too. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. All out of everything that I read, the one thing that warmed my heart was that you guys reached out. Some of you did and emailed me, Rob. I reached out to so-and-so. I reached out to my rep. I emailed this. I emailed that. I know a mayor over here who was dating some. I mean, just everybody. We're a community. If you travel, if you watch this channel, chances are you're a traveler. You got to take a stand and do something. I mean, you can't just look out for yourself. If you look out for yourself, I mean, if you don't put out good into the universe, this is my personal belief. If you don't put out good into the universe, good's not going to come to you. So I try to put out as much good as I can. I'm going to show you a picture right here. I'm going to put this in post right here, but I'm going to show you a picture right here. This is my former mayor, Mayor Marion Barry, my mayor for life. Yes, he got caught up and hemmed up doing drugs. And they almost killed the man by giving him real drugs to get him caught up. And if you don't understand DC politics, go ahead and comment like you want. But if you don't understand it, then you don't understand it. DC does not have representation. He had to go to the Hill and beg for money to keep Washington, DC open. If you don't understand the politics, please don't comment. Don't even comment on this at all. I mean, he did drugs. Do you know anybody that's done drugs? How about that? Any of you have family members that have done drugs? Yeah. Exactly. So somebody somebody that you know has fallen in that hole, but did you have the government going after them? Because they were after him for years. Oh, they were after him. And then they found the opportunity and they got him. So after he got arrested, I knew he was going to be arraigned the following morning. So I'm going to keep this picture up. I knew he was going to be arraigned the next morning. So this is 30 years ago, y'all. I believe this is 1990. I'll check the date and I'll put it up here, but I believe this is 30 years ago, okay, when this happened, 1990, 33 years ago. And you see the mayor, this is after his arraignment, and you see R. Kenneth Mundy, that's his attorney. He was like Johnny Cochran for DC, and he was good. He's since passed away too, and so has my former mayor. I remember my mayor was the first head of SNCC. If you don't know SNCC, look it up. Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. He was the first one. He's a former law professor. This man was smart, okay? Don't just take him on that one action that they got him on. But I was determined to find out what happened. So what did I do? I went. I went to that trial. I stood in line. I got there like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was number 11 in line. There ended up being over 300 people from the public waiting to get in. Now, this courtroom, let me give you this story. This courtroom held about 300 people. Got the biggest courtroom in DC, downtown. I forgot district court, but I don't get federal, because we're not a state. But anyway, in this court. And so we're standing in line. They let in, I don't know, hundreds of people from the media. And then all of a sudden, they started letting the people from the public in. 1, 2, 3, 4, come on, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right here, cut. Now, I told you, I was number 11. That's a problem. Yeah. I caused some noise. I caused a lot of noise in that hallway to the point where the marshals stepped up on me and said, hey, you keep acting up and you're going to find yourself out front on the curb. I said, well, you already told me I'm not getting in. I'll be out on the curb in front of them 10,000 cameras out there and tell them you only letting 10 people from the public in. How about that? Guess how many people got in? 11. That's right. I got in, sitting right next to this lady from BET and talking to her about it. By the way, what they put on the news was lies about his disposition and his demeanor. Anyway, that's why I went. So when you look at this picture and you see Marion Barry and you see R. Kenneth Monday, look over to the right. I'll point an arrow up there. I was there. I've also been caught on the news throwing a brick. I mean, that's a whole nother issue. But my whole point is you have to get involved. You have to do something. You can't just, I think when you ask the universe for something, it's on its way, but you have to do something. Like I want a date. If I sit here and want a date, I mean, I can do apps, but nobody has ever knocked on my door and said, here, Rob, here's $1 million or here's $10,000. Or a girl has never knocked on my door and said, hey, you're kind of cute. You think we can go out? Never. So I know I have to do something. I got to leave the house. So I'm all over the city right now. So I realize I have to take a stand and do something. You have to support others. Okay. And this is one reason I'm going out of town next week. You have to support others. Do something. Take a stand. I know I'm rambling. So anybody who made it this long, props. I'm sure I'll see you on Patreon. But I hope somebody has made it this long. This is a rant, but this is a long coming rant because you got to do something. We're all travelers, man. We're all travelers. Stop thinking you're an individual. You're not an individual. You'll end up like Shinquilla's family. You'll end up like the family that just got killed going across to Matamoros from my state, from Texas, from Brownsville, for medical stuff and end up getting killed. And now the government, I'm hearing them talking smack like they want to do something against the cartels anyway. And I heard, I forgot, Carlton sent me something about, what's his name? Graham. Don't even get me started. I hate both sides. They both don't do anything. Let me just keep it PG. They don't do anything for us. We have to do it for ourselves. So we're travelers. What are you going to do? Will you pick up a phone? Will you make a phone call on behalf of the brothers, on behalf of the Reeds? Timothy Reed was killed almost 2 years. His anniversary, I know by heart, is April 20th, which is coming fast next month. So we really need to revisit this because if something happens to you, somebody from your family may reach out to me, just like the gentleman who came up missing. And I did all I could, and I have assistance again. And I'm thankful to and anyone else who reaches out and helps me. I really, man, I can't. Sometimes it's overpouring, man. Sometimes the support is so spot on, but it's just key individuals. It's the same key individuals. It's 10%. What do we have to do to get this up to 20, 30%? We have to stick together as a community. I mean, when you leave this country, don't you want the same support? You're still a citizen of the United States. You're just traveling to another country. I mean, you're still an American. I'm tired about, like they kept saying the press conference earlier. I heard about Shanquilla's murder. It was about Black women being marginalized. This is not about Black women. This is about Americans. We leave the country and they dropped the ball. They brought up what's her name, Natalie Holloway, and yeah, they did turn heaven and earth when she came up missing in Aruba. But I'm just talking in general. Guys, most of you people who are watching this video are guys who are going to travel to Thailand, to Philippines, to South Africa, to Sosua, to Dominican Republic. I mean, you guys want to travel and see the world. And a lot of you guys are military, so you're used to it. But those who aren't military, aren't used to traveling, when you leave this country, you need to be aware, first of all. You need to do due diligence. You need to read what reports and what alerts the State Department gives. You need to sign up for the SNAP program. You need to make sure you get this information fed back to you, so you don't step into it, Tamaulipas, which is Matamoros. You don't want to step inside that city. I was going to go a week or two ago. I was going to go. I've crossed that border. I used to do tours to Mexico when I first moved to Texas from Houston. Going down to Boys Town, going to gambling, down the Frogs. We used to do that down to Boys Town. I did that 20 years ago. I'm always doing something. But I was going to go a couple of weeks ago, and I crossed over on the safest border town, which I think now is Progreso and Nuevo Progreso. Pero ahora, no, not crossing. No. I'll fly into that town near Cabo. Like I said, I want to go see, but no. I mean, I'm sorry, it's near Cancun. What? Merida, or Merida, however it's pronounced. That's where I want to go and check that out. There or Medellin, I'm back. I need a short one, but prices just have to be reasonable. But we have to stick together as a community. Again, I know I'm rambling, but I hope somebody's still here. We need your assistance. I may need your assistance one day. I hope if I come up missing, one of you will make a phone call on behalf of me. You have no idea how many FOIA requests got sent to get this one back. You have no idea. You have no idea how many. I had to learn all these different acronyms. What's knock? Okay, next to kin. Okay. I had to learn all this stuff, all the waivers for me to be able to see it, for the reps to be able to communicate on their behalf. Your reps can't just call the embassy in Bogota. You have to have a waiver for them, and it has to be signed. You have to send all this stuff back and fax, and you have no idea the behind the scenes work that has been done here and has been done by people who've assisted me. I mean, we have to help each other as a group. We are travelers, mostly men, but we are travelers, female too. So, and from all around the world, let's try to stay together as a tribe. If something happens, somebody report it. Go to the police. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of people say it won't do any good, and I think probably the same thing. In most instances, I really don't know because I haven't had to ask the police in Colombia for anything. But you need to report it. Get that police report. Even if you walk away from it, then you take that police report, you put it in chicacheck.co, and that could be either for druggings. It could be either for old boy that's out here scamming you guys. And he's not alone. When you get scammed by somebody, I mean, did you hear his accent, his New York accent? Yeah, he spent some time in New York. Somebody actually reached out and says he remembered him from New York. So yeah, he knows how to talk that talk, and he's walking off with your money too while he's talking. But it's up to us to pass the word on. Okay, I'm just a little YouTuber, and hopefully there's enough of you guys that'll pass it on and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on, and maybe somebody else will pick it up. Another YouTuber will pick it up. And thanks to excuse me, thanks to Razor Rays for all that he's putting out there too to help keep you guys safe. But we got to stick together as a group. I'm done rambling. Okay. Anyway, there goes my morning. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Dating in Colombia can be confusing for foreign men. Plus, dating in Colombia can be outright dangerous. With Chica Check, you can date with confidence by screening your date first for past issues. Visit chicacheck.co and create your free account today.
Join me on social media. I am dcbornrob official on Instagram. I am dcbornrob official 1 on TikTok. I am dcbornrob O on Twitter. Don't be like this guy right here. You're just so stupid. I had to send you a video to let you know that you're so stupid. That's right. Don't be like this guy right here. Join me on social media. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below. If you're in Medellin and you need dental work done, from a basic cleaning to major reconstructive surgery, come see my guy, Dr. Carlos Mori. Contact information in the description below.